First question's the easiest one. Can we get you guys to say and spell first and last name for us, please?
Carmella Charrington, C-A-R-M-E-L-L-A, Charrington, C-H-A-R-R-I-N-G-T-O-N.
Okay, and?
Evangeline Byers, E-V-A-N-G-E-L-I-N-E, Byers, B-Y-A-R-S.
Okay, I don't have a second mic, so I'm just.
Shall we get a little closer?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so very simply, ladies, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't expecting to show up and see a whole group out here today. So,
Yes.
I mean, what's happening? Why are we out here? Why is this so important?
Well, our group is here to support us in this whole deed theft racketeer that has been going on for some time. We formulated a coalition to combat and stop deed theft. And so I am a product of that. And so that's why everyone is here in support. And also, we're out here working and making a change so nobody else could have to ever deal with what we've been experiencing.
And this is your house here?
Yes, this is our family home for over 60 years. Someone tied their names to it, claims this, the Shell LLC said that they're the owner. In the beginning of 2024, January, broke into the house and said, hey, we're the new owners. No notice to us, no knowledge of it. And then that's when it started unraveling to figure out who they were, where did they come from, how did they get their names on the property. And it's been a battle since now.
How does it make you feel? This is originally your father's home?
Originally, it's my great uncle's home.
Okay.
My grandmother's house is there. So we grew up on the spot. My grandmother's at 225 Jefferson, where this was my great uncle's house. So we've been in the community for over 60 years.
And personally for you, I mean, how does this all make you feel? Well, let's start with the deed theft, and then we'll talk about getting the support from the community. I mean,
it's inhumane. Nobody should ever have to deal with this. This is inhumane. This is a crime, and they need to treat it as such, and they're not. And that's why we're stepping in to make sure it is treated as a RICO crime, because this is what's going on. It's been illustrated. It's been shown. With all these different agencies, all have a stake in this.
I was going to say, how are you guys taking action? You guys had a meeting last night. You're going to court. Give us an update.
Yes. Well, during the time that they came here on December 1st to break in, the group of our coalition was at the DA's office. So Evangeline could basically tell you, because I was there assisting somewhere else, but she could tell you what happened during the DA's meeting.
Okay.
So due to the widespread and the pandemic or epidemic of deed theft in the area, we have now formed a task force with the DA's office to combat deed theft. So these next 2 weeks will be very, very critical. We're alleging racketeering and a host of other crimes that have been committed with the banks, with different ways in which they basically seize these properties that is unlawful. And so the DA is now looking at the evidence of what we are presenting, and now we have a joint task force to make sure that no one slips through the cracks.
Tell us what happened the other day with the break-in. From my understanding, something just happened the other day.
Yes, well, during the whole process that we were in court, trying to, rectify and see who these people are, they end up taking me into housing courts. That's not the court I should be in, because I'm not a tenant. And so the judge, even though she knew that there was a title discrepancy, she granted them the eviction. So once she granted them, and once they have those papers, it's like it's a go. And so what I did was go back to Supreme Court, because that's the jurisdiction, and got a TRO, emergency. The TRO stops everything and anything in housing court. It's a whole compile stop. It was granted. I had it on the door. December 1st, he rang the doorbell. He said, I'm here to evict you. I said, oh, okay, well, I gave you a cease and desist. I gave you the information. Here it is also on the door. I don't know no knowledge of it. He made a couple of calls. He said he called the chambers of the judge, and he called the police. I showed the police the documents, and then they left.
But I think it's important to note also that Judge Shears, who is the judge that's presiding over the case, has informed everyone, the DA's office, including the city marshal, that there is a permanent stay, that she issued a stay months ago, and that this should not be back before her, right? So they really have no jurisdiction. but they're fighting to get it. So there is a stay in place,
Yes.
meaning that there can be no eviction, right? The problem is the jurisdictions of the landlord-tenant court, along with the Supreme Court, have no communication, right? So there's a way, which is something that's called res judicata, double jeopardy, that is happening here, right? Where you can run for Supreme Court, go file an action in landlord-tenant court. There's no knowledge of what's going on in each jurisdiction, and then evictions are being put in place that are not supposed to be happening.
Okay, so somebody like went through your neighbor's house? to try to get-
Oh yes. Well, what they do is when they come on the scene, they spread out. So there was a car parked there where that green car is at for 2 hours. So once the sheriff came aboard, that's when he came out. He came out. He went into my neighbor's house, 210. He's doing construction on his property, and the door was open, and he went into his house and went on the second floor.
And he was trying to come into your house?
To get access,
Well, yes, if they get upstairs,
you can go through the roof
they can go through the roof.
and come in through the roof.
Okay. What is it like for, are these guys here for you?
Listen, when you see him, you don't know. She might have not, yeah, she may not know. Because
No.
everyone is, this is what it does, honestly and truthfully. It upsets everyone. So when anyone see anything going on, every neighbor is affected. And this is what people need to understand. They lie in and say that we don't get along and we don't care about each other. It's a damn lie. Everyone is affected. This lady has a young child that she's coming outside just to see what's going on because everybody is at alert. And it's not fair. It's not fair.
I was going to say, can you give our viewers a little bit of an insight as to it's not only impacting you, but so many of you guys?
So many.
Give us the scope of the issue here on the block, in the neighborhood, in Brooklyn.
We roughly say at least each block, at least 3 to 4 houses, 5 houses at least. That's all affected. Some of us share and some do it in silence. It's affecting everybody, and now it's to the point where neighbors are just they don't know what to do. Like, what's going to happen? Is this going to happen to me as well? So everyone is getting involved to combat this because we're all like, we don't feel safe. There's no way. We all locking doors at night. Extra people are here sleeping in my house. Like, it's to that point. And I said we need to have like a Buckingham Palace type of guard. Maybe lock our blocks up at night because they come and just position themselves.
So you're still home at the moment.
Yes, I'm still in the house, but they, it's not a comfortable feeling because they lie and they create falsified narratives. I heard APS was called. I have grandchildren. I have a father. They create this falsified narrative and say all these things, but the reality is you don't have the right to evict. But the good thing is that there's a team of us that are so brilliant that we know what the next steps is, and it's federal court.
I was going to say, as far as the next step for you, let's say by chance somehow slips through the cracks, you find yourself leaving the house.
That's not an option.
I was going to say, what's your backup plan?
That's not, you never have a plan B. It's only plan A. So it will be executed. So there is no plan B. This is the plan. It's changing everything. Nobody will ever experience what I experienced. So that's why it's no plan B.
As far as last night goes, the Zoom meeting, can you guys give us an update on what you guys were hearing from the AG's office?
So the AG's office is now investigating all criminal complaints of police who are executing unlawful evictions. The police were informed and given a memo as of 2022 that they are not to engage in these types of actions. So all officers who we are reporting to the AG's office who have engaged in this type of conduct will be investigated and dealt with accordingly.
And how many of them are there, roughly?
Well, right now we've reported about 4.
Okay.
We've recorded about 4.
Okay. Anything else? I know that there's obviously so much that we can talk about with this, but like I said, I'm trying to boil it all down, nuts and bolts, to a minute and a half.
Yes, key
I
points.
mean, like I said, I wasn't expecting to see a large group out here today when I showed up. What is it like to have your neighbors standing behind
This
you?
is how I'm able, this is the only way I'm able to do it. You can't do this by yourself. If it wasn't for them and them being present, I wouldn't be, there's no way I could do this alone. There's no way I could give credit and just sit up here and say, there's no way. I called everyone, be here, because everybody's a piece to this pie. So when I was in my house locked up, talking to them through the door, my neighbors was like, we out here filming. So, and everyone have cameras, and I want them to all know everybody's watching. So don't think that you can come and get away with it. We share content, we share cameras, we know who's the bad actors, and everyone is gonna be dealt with.
I was going to say, do you have a message for these?
We're gonna come get you. It's a guarantee, I
And
promise
it
you
fits
that.
in with the history of Brooklyn. If you know the history of Brooklyn, Brooklyn is where you had the first successful Underground Railroad collaboration between black and white women against slavery. And if you don't have a roof over your head, that's a form of slavery, because you can't guarantee your life from day to day. So Brooklyn is just being Brooklyn.
Yes, Brooklynites.
Carmela, if I may ask, how old are you?
54, I forget my age sometimes, 54.
And you lived in this building all your life?
No, actually,
I'm sorry, this was your...
this is, yeah, but this was the house
When you lived on the block.
yeah, my grandmother's house is still there. My aunt lives there, but I grew up on this block. I left and went to Atlanta around 13, and then I was like, I gotta come back home. So I came back.
Could you explain a little bit how they're like how do they decide which homes to like go after? Like what?
Oh, the vulnerability, the elderly. It's no houses that's paid off, no mortgage, no problems. Those are the ones they target. This house been paid for.
They use Acris.
Acris, yeah.
They go into Acris and you can see which homes have a mortgage, an active mortgage, and which ones are totally satisfied. Once they know what houses are satisfied, that's how they begin to target. Right? Because it's easy for them to go and slap a mortgage on a lien and start a foreclosure action, right? So that's how they do it. No note, that's easy access to do it. Another way is they go into nursing homes. They go into, when someone dies, they get the obituary. They see all of the family members.
We have to stop that.
They see all of the family members who are listed, and then they go pick a family member to say, hey, you're an heir to this property. Why don't you sign me over your portion of whatever your legal rights are to the property, give them money, and the next thing you know, they're appearing at your door saying that this is their home, right? And so there's more ways than that, but these are some of the ways that they do it.
And Carmela, in your case, they were specifically weaponizing like the guardianship.
The guardianship is in Georgia, so yeah, listen, we have a criminal complaint against her right now. She goes to court on the 15th, but the guardian is in Georgia, so yes, she sided with them to sign off in Georgia. You can't do that.
She has no jurisdiction.
She has no jurisdiction. You would have to become a guardian in the state of New York. You have to petition the court. The court has to give approval, appraisal. He's alive.
But there's also another problem with this. There's no financial reason to be liquidating the assets of the family.
Right, so you can't do
There's
that.
no back taxes, there's no water bills, there's no financial distress. The owner of this home is a retired transit worker who has a pension, Social Security, and children who are fully employed. There's no issues with finance, right? So that is the only reason why you would, that's the only reason why you would do or liquidate properties, is because it's in a financial distress. There is no financial distress, right? So what they're doing is illegal.
I think it just goes to show how every institution, every entity is compromised.
Correct.
Oh yes, by all means.
And in New York, the AG has now recognized that they have to do an investigation into Article 81 guardianships for the financial abuse, right? Once a guardian is assigned to a property, a conservator, they can do whatever they want, right? Even if it's unnecessary or unlawful. But because they have those rights to act as you, they can do whatever it is they want. And this is the dangers that our seniors are dealing with, right? So that's what we're dealing with.
And are you also in one of these homes, or you just kind of represent the community?
No, I'm the lead organizer for the People's Coalition to Stop DTheft.
Okay. Anything else we? Good. Okay. Anything that we have? I know, obviously, again, we can touch on this all day and keep going, but for the nuts and bolts portion of this, and kind of just, is there anything that we haven't touched on? Anything you want to add to that you really feel that we?
Probably the aspect of maybe we want to talk about getting involved. Anybody that may want to get
Yes,
involved.
we want people to get involved. If you're looking to get involved, we answer all DMs on our Stop DTheft page on IG, so they can follow us on Instagram. You also can go onto our website and follow us, and that's the best ways to get in contact with us.
What's the website?
www.stopdtheft.org.
What sort of resources are you guys looking for? Legal, financial, like community?
Well, we're looking for
Yes, that's
legal resources. The issue that we have currently is that the people who deal in this area of theft, defraud cases, a lot of times are complicit. So it's very hard for us to find legal representation. But if there's someone who is interested in taking on these cases that is not connected to the crime syndicate, we welcome it.
Are you guys thinking about a class action lawsuit?
Oh
against, like, the
yes,
city of New York?
I'm all about
Yes.
lawsuits.
Well, we
right?
can do a class action, but the
Yes.
problem is that, again, the different areas that we're talking about, they fall under different categories.
Right.
So some people may be experiencing Article 81, somebody else may be dealing with bank fraud, mortgage fraud, and then you'll have other people who are dealing with the fact that someone just came and slapped the mortgage in there in a foreclosure action, right? So there's different ways that it is. So it's a little difficult to do a class action in that manner, but dealing with the human rights violation and things of that nature, we can do something around that.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. All right, thank you.